Hello everyone. Hi America. How you doing today? What's going on? Today is March the 16th, 2023. And the weather out there is it's kind of raining, kind of drizzle, windy, cloudy. I have to run out and do some stuff later. And so I hope it improves or gets a little bit warmer. Sure. Um, so I hope things are going well. I'm moving along, doing my thing, dealing with life just like everyone else, and promoting, being an American tier. Because I keep hearing more and more and more about the problems in America, and and I just kind of like shrug my shoulders and think like, well, we shouldn't have those fears or problems facing average, regular, hardworking Americans. I mean, that is just something that's being put on us, and we're just kind of having to navigate through it at every level. I don't care how poor you are. And I used to think like, the richer you are, the less of these problems in America are going to affect you. So when that, but just recently, in the past week, that Silicon Valley Bank crashed and burned, which affected millionaires, billionaires, and I've been saying that like to the people like who have an excessive amount of money that don't think anything will affect them. Everything that I'm even talking about, they're like, why would I do that? Why do I need to do this? And that's why. Because things like, what affects America or Americans, and you just think you're too elitist or too rich to, be outside the system, and it's for us other folks, for the rest of us, um, then, it's a good reminder. I don't know if anybody really, really lost money. I think what they ended up having was a major headache and a crazy ripple effect and a negative effect about trusting our banking system. But that's not the point I'm trying to bring up. The point I'm trying to bring up is it's you're not going to avoid the changes. Whether you're super wealthy or super poor, doesn't matter. We're all in this together, and that's the point. We are just one community, so we can't just keep dividing each other up and expect things to be okay. It just doesn't work that way. You kind of have to, be a part of the community. Help it. Don't, sit on millions and millions of dollars in a bank when you have businesses in small communities and even in cities that are going down. You have more and more homeless people going up, and then we have the fear factor of other Americans who are just kind of like not sure, you know. But the point is that you can help. Now that you understand what we face in some little way, you can understand what we face in a big way down here as non-rich people. So be helpful in some way. Anyway, doesn't matter to me. I'm not telling you exactly what to do. You know what to do. It's inside you. It's inside your soul. It's inside your heart. As to how you want to spread your wealth, spread your joy, spread your happiness. It's all, and you're helping other Americans. And you're probably saving lives and helping Americans and America become better. This is all really good stuff, man. Don't deny it. Don't just like, oh no, that's not for me. Yes, it is for you. You just gotta accept that, part of yourself, that it's okay to do that. Give yourself permission. Don't, stop working on the division. Stop working on the separation. Stop socially discriminating against people, and uplift them instead. Let's help everyone in some way, and that in some good way that we can. And the bottom line with the American Cheer movement is that, even though it may sound like some kind of like, let's be helpful and volunteer and stuff, there is, yes, there is a part of that, but that's up to you. And, as American Cheers, we're also setting things up to where if you decide to be helpful and do the right thing and do a good thing, it's not a volunteer system. It's a point system. You'll gain points, and you'll keep them, throughout your life. And when you hit retirement, you can cash in on these points. I mean, and product through established manufacturers and stores and people that we've already managed to be a part of the point system. Because it's a win, 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 win. It's being helpful, and you win. The person or the people, whatever you're doing to be helpful, they win. Corporations have just got to step up, and they'll win too. We'll find a way for them to be winners, because we're all winners. We're all in this together. There are no I win and you lose, I win. There is no kind of battle like that going on here. It's all about unification. It's all about coming together. It's all about working proactively into the future to solve America's problems and to have a voice, a huge voice, big enough to where people just cannot turn us down, cannot turn down the volume, cannot ignore us. And they wouldn't want to anyways, because we're offering a common sense third way of looking at things and looking at life, or looking at our society, or promoting change, without the politicians and without the corporations' influence. Just straight up Americans helping Americans. And that's the way we got to go. That's where things have taken us. And if we don't do this, we're going to be taken over, like we already are taken over, by a system. And it's like we don't even have a choice. It's just being placed on us. It's not like you can say, I want to be a part of it. They're just saying, you are going to be a part of it. And this is what we decided to do. So you either comply or you don't. And so most people are going to comply. They're kind of forced to. They feel powerless. It's kind of rigged that way. But when you get as free thinkers coming together and saying, wait a minute, hold on. This is a little much. It's a little too much. And enough is enough. We can't keep treating all Americans like that, and and then there's this weird flip side of the culture of America, where how do I explain this? Well, it's just Americans. They have just given up. They've given up on society. They've given up on wanting to be a part of it. They've given up on even themselves to do anything about it. And they don't even want to go to work. They just want the government to pay for their life. And I hear a lot of that talk, and that's a sad thing because it's a form of crazy self-oppression. And people will do that because it's well, first of all, it's an evil set of mind, to drag human souls down to the bottom line of life, and got them convinced that if they keep going after the government for freebies, they're going to be okay. And they don't have to do anything but that. And participate with society, or participate with our community. Just like the really rich people, they're the same way. It's the same thinking, except this is for, people just don't want to do anything at all. They think the same way, like, why would, I want to do it this way. And we got to set better examples. I want to say these people have got to change. Yes, I can say that. But we need some better examples of how to really get change to happen, though. It's one thing to tell people to change, and they wake up the next morning like, okay, let's change. But they don't even know the first step toward change. So there's where the examples of other Americans have to kind of cross paths, so you can keep that spark alive and keep that courage there, and start to let that person build their own self-worth and their own purpose, because that's the only way it's going to work. So build ourselves up. And we can encourage each other to do that. We don't necessarily have to do like magical things. You have to be encourageable. Be nice. Be polite. And we can change America. Are you with me? I'd say, yeah. Yes, you are with me. Okay, well, have an excellent day. Take care of yourself. Rock and roll. And peace, love. We'll talk later.